everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizzie. I live in a small town in Vermont. But today is a day that you and I both have been waiting for because I'm going to give you a tour and all of the details of this greenhouse that we've built for this year. This has been a little while coming, but everything's totally finished inside of it, and so I'm excited to show you. This greenhouse right here is actually two greenhouses. They are two 6x8 greenhouses that we purchased from Harbor Freight. They were on sale. They were $229, and I believe they were normally $349. So for under $500, we were able to have a 6-foot by 16-foot greenhouse. The wind, as you can see, is present on a regular basis here, and in March it's even heavier, and it has withstood the wind and been good. So I'm happy about that. I am going to show you some film from weeks ago and leading up to getting this done when it comes to putting down the fabric, putting in the beds, topsoil, compost, the whole thing, and then I'll be back so we can get some planting done in there. I'm going to use these pieces of wood to keep my weed fabric down until we get the beds built. Isn't it just so lovely in here? It's about 60 degrees and windy outside, and in here it's over 75. The plants are just loving it. It is so beautiful in here. I love spending time in here. So this is an unheated greenhouse. I want to do a little bit more research on how to better and economically use the heater in here. But for right now, if it gets too cold for certain plants, I am just bringing them inside, which right now it would be tomatoes and peppers, and where are they? Geraniums are back there. Those are the ones that I'm bringing inside right now if I need to. But the last few nights it hasn't dipped below 45. So they've been totally fine in here and totally safe. So I only am bringing them inside if it's dipping below 40 or it's close to dipping below 40. So what I'm going to be doing in here for the summer is that some really warm plants are going to be growing in here. The thing that we're going to be planting today is my snapdragons. I have two different varieties of snapdragons that are going to be going in here, as well as going out into the field, and I'm going to have that in a different video. The Potomac series and the Costa mix. And so I am going to have those in the field as well, but in theory they're going to grow slower. One is a group 2 and one is a group 3, so one should bloom before the other one, but these should bloom before the ones in the field should bloom. I've never done this before, so we're kind of experimenting with things here. But these are going to be planted on this left side of me, right here in this part of the bed. Behind that is going to go some celosia. Celosia loves the heat, and it's going to get really hot in here in the summer. So I think it's going to make it really bolt up a little bit better. I'll probably put some in the field as well just to have them. But my celosia didn't do very well in the field last year, and I really think it was because it's just very cold sometimes and it can be really windy, and they want heat. The flowers were pretty, the blooms were pretty, but they weren't very tall. So I'm hoping I can help with that this year. In the back corner, I'm going to be having my tomatoes, specifically cherry tomatoes. I may do another variety of tomatoes as well, but definitely the cherry tomatoes. And I'm going to do that kind of in the corner and in the back. On this corner back here on this side, I'm going to be doing my fruits. So I'm going to have watermelon, and I'm going to have cantaloupe growing, and some cucumber as well growing right here. I'm going to put some chicken wire all along this side of the garden so that that is the trellis that they are going to grow up on. Sorry, this keeps, got it. So that is going to be the trellis that they grow up on. And also, it's going to be a little bit of a protectant as well. In the heat of summer in July, it's definitely going to get over 100 degrees in here, which these hot plants like that, but it is very hot. So as they're growing up and vining up, it's also going to protect some of these things with a little bit less sun is my hope. And so it may cool it down a little bit in here as well. So let me know if you have any questions down below about the greenhouse, how it's going. Again, you're watching me experiment, but it's an experiment that I'm loving. So let's get these snapdragons planted. Some of these are much smaller than others. These ones are so small because these are the tops of ones that I had pinched. So when I went through and pinched all of my snapdragons, I then took the pinched part and put it into another 6 count tray to root in, and all of them rooted in. So I really had like double the amount of plants plus double the amount of blooms, because when you snip and or pinch, whichever one you choose to do, it makes more blooms on the plant. So I should have a lot of blooms this year. So I don't actually know which variety these are, but they're either Potomac or Costa. I'll find out when they bloom. About 3 inches apart. In theory, I would need maybe some netting to put over the top of this so that they can grow through. But it's not going to be super windy here in the greenhouse, so I don't know that I'm really going to need them. I will keep an eye on them and see if they're growing up straight and tall or not, or if they need a little bit of help and some staking to keep them upright and straight. These plants, they look so good. Look at that one. That is just gorgeous. And it's been pinched, so there's multiple different branching coming out. Just looking beautiful. I'm really happy with these this year. Last thing we're gonna do today is pot up some of the violas that I have here into these huge pots. I don't think that they're totally going to fill the pots. Next year I will have some tulips coming out the middle of them, and the violas or pansies will be around the edge of them. But for now I just want to get something in these pots, get a little pop of color in them. They're brand new from Home Depot. They need to be filled with some topsoil and some compost, and then I will be planting. I changed my shoes for this project. Everyone, that is it for today's video. I gotta get these new pansies, violas, watered in. I gotta get the snapdragons watered in. I'm excited to see those violas grow. They're teeny now, but they will grow more and fill that pot up. Eventually those pots are gonna be herb pots. There's gonna be nothing but herbs in them, but for now go leave the pansies in there. Thank you for coming along. Hope you learned something today. I hope you were inspired to create something new. And until next time, keep growing. Bye.